See 'em? Well, open your damn eyes in. It's the old-timey country down-home red state update podcast and them. Coming to you from a bunker underneath Jackie's Market in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And here they are, both of them.
Hey, welcome to Red State Update. My name's Jackie Bros.
Hello, Jackie. My name is Dunlap. I am the co-host of the Red State Update podcast, the podcast where we get mad at Trump still, and it's like 6 years later. It'd be like if Spy Magazine was still around. Listen, we are so mad at Trump. I don't want to think about Trump anymore. We thought, well, we're going to get rid of Trump. We're going to fix this country. And then I don't know if anybody really thought that, but he's still around, right? He's still around and just as awful, maybe worse.
I'm gonna say worse now because for a few minutes after the insurrection, maybe for about 5 to 10 minutes, it seemed all right. This is it. Enough is enough. We have got to stop. No more. Lindsey Graham got out there. Mitch McConnell. All right, let's cut this out. But
cut it out.
But since then, I mean, he just as big as he ever was as far as the Republican Party is concerned.
Well, you kind of had to do it right then because that was when he got that first taste of blood on his lips. Like,
yep.
And he was like, oh, this blood come from people doing something for me. Like, this is good blood.
Best kind for him.
Best kind of blood. For someone who likes their steaks well done, he loved the taste of that blood.
Well, everybody knows how awful he is, except half of the country seem to like that for some reason. I don't understand, but anyhow. And then the other half, God help us all. But every person in the Republican Party, except for maybe 3 or 4, that's what they do now. Trump, he can't be on Twitter no more, so they have to, by God, I'm going to fill that gap of nastiness, racism, violence, and whatever I can do, lies, we've got to, I'm going to fill that spot. And they, of course, by filling that spot on Twitter, they think they're going to fill the president spot come 2024. So good luck to that. I ain't even going to call them a bad name.
Well, even if they don't fill it with actual cause for violence, they have to keep themselves open to it. Because if they don't know what Trump is going to ask of them, so they can't denounce the violence, and they can't go like, full bore, let's get them all. Because then the FBI will come. They have to kind of be in the middle, not answer questions. Easily answerable questions. Should the president have felt bad about them wanting to hang Mike Pence? Like, can we not for a second talk about Russia blowing up a satellite? Trump loved them talking about hanging Mike Pence. That's the other thing. We're like, was this getting away from Trump? Was Trump a little bit like, this is going, you know what, guys? I just wanted to make a little money. I have sort of a narcissism problem. I never expected it to go this far. Today, January 6th, I say I'm taking a step back. But he thought, was there any speck of humanity? There was not.
No.
He loved it.
Every minute of it. They supposedly, this January 6th committee, we know they subpoenaed Bannon, and now they're going to hold it in contempt. We'll get to that in a minute. But supposedly, one of the things they're looking for, you remember his little video that come on in around the middle of the insurrection, I guess. We said, all right, it's time to go. Time to go home. I love you. I love all of you. But let's not, we got to, the election was stolen. I understand. I know why you're mad, but it's time to stop. Supposedly, it took a long time. Now, he may have just been stalling so the insurrection could continue, but supposedly it took several takes to get that right. And it's one of the things that the committee is trying to get is all the outtakes of him telling people not to kill, anyone working in the Capitol.
what is it with outtakes and violent narcissists? I mean, I can imagine it taking Burt Reynolds a few takes. I'm not comparing Burt Reynolds to Donald Trump.
No.
Or someone who wants to hang the vice president of the United States of America. I am a little bit, because he probably it'd be hard for Burt. I love you. I love you all. Thank you so much for. He'd have to have somebody next to him to slap. Now let's you know what? Let's take the violence down a notch or two, okay? That's a good idea, Burt. We need to. Once you stay quiet till that was him. That was a slapping sound I made with my mouth, like a child on the playground when I'm talking about the death of democracy. He would definitely slap people. So I don't think we should be hanging like Pence. I think maybe we. Not. I just see Trump pulling his necktie up, going like in one of the takes.
Look, now they would have preferred to hang Mike Pence before he could certify the election. But judging from what, many Republicans, not many, the few that voted for the bipartisan, infrastructure bill, they're getting death threats now all the time. They're debating on whether to punish these men and take them off committees for voting for something to help our own damn states.
And then they'll take the credit for it when the money comes rolling.
Oh, of course they will. They'll be cutting ribbons left and right everywhere when the billions of dollars get to their state. But for now, you got to,
I heard that the temperature in the country is so hot and the threat of violence so real that when they do them ribbon cuttings, they're not going to do the giant oversized scissors anymore.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Dangerous be around that. Well, point being them screaming and cussing them and threatening them, they still want to hang Mike Pence. He done did the deed, but they probably want to hang him even more now.
You know what? Let me say something. Here's what I think would happen, and I don't want to make light of this because I don't know what you're supposed to do at this point. I didn't know if things were going to be this stupid. I expected to live through the end of the world as a middle-aged white Southern evangelical. I've been expecting it the entire time I've been alive. I've just been waiting for it. The 80s, nuclear war, whole thing. Just here it comes any moment. I didn't know it was going to be this stupid. But Mike Pence, I'm just afraid if they had tried to hang Mike Pence, I guess the best possible outcome is they would have got so fucking bored by Mike Pence that before they got to hang him, they would have said, fuck, let's just help me off of this gallows, will you? Well, I regret that I only have one life to get. Come on. Nobody's going to make it through that. The most faces of death, MAGA motherfucker be like, I turned on Netflix. I don't know. I was checking my Instagram. I don't know what happened.
Well, stay safe, Mike.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. That's all I can say.
Yeah, because Donald Trump is not going to. I knew he'd be okay. Like, that doesn't even make sense. In that audio from the interview with John Carl, Trump's like, yeah, I knew he was real taken care of. What? How did he? What's the Secret Service, I guess? Like, what does he? He'd be fine. That's like, why would you expect that? I guess that's also why hundreds of thousands of people died of COVID. I figured they'd be okay. Oh, they weren't okay? Huh. Well, what? Personal responsibility or something. Did Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise ever do anything with a giant pair of comically oversized scissors?
Not that I'm aware of. I would have probably remembered that.
That would be good. Is there a movie where they opened a supermarket or something? Or maybe they did it in their, spare time for a few grand. I'm going to cut the ribbon now.
The certain politicians, and you know which one we're talking about when I say certain ones, meaning the majority of the GOP, when they're running for the midterms, they need to make let's hang Mike Pence, their slogan. They might as well do that, but they need to change it. They need to do one of them let's go Brandon things, but I don't know what it would be.
Hurry Mike's purse.
What?
Hurry Mark's park. You know what? That's harder than you think.
It is.
Hello.
I don't know how to do it. Yeah.
Hello, Mickey Pike. Yeah. No, we can't meme. We just can't meme, Jackie.
I don't know how to do it. I don't know what it is. I guess the people that do it get paid handsomely to do so. So leave it to them, right? Yeah.
This Cheney can't call herself a Republican anymore. Is that what they said? Like they're not going to call her a Republican anymore.
She can call herself whatever she wants. She's going to say she is a Republican. She's going to say the rest of them.
Why would you?
Traitors. Well, guys, because she wants to be the one good Republican. That her and Kissinger, like that's But that, yeah. Why would you at this point? You on the wrong side. Well, your whole damn state says nobody there can call you a Republican anymore. So why would you call? Just don't. You don't have to be a Democrat. I ain't saying that, but say I'm getting the hell. Her next, she don't need to be responding to Ted Cruz or doing this or whatever kind of press conference she's having, saying, "Well, he said this." I just come out and say, "I'm not association with what the GOP has become. I ain't it no more." I mean, everybody knows it already. Make a stand for it. If you make such a stand to get all the people, insurrection people, go for it, get them. But get out there and just say, I ain't a Republican more. If he's a Republican, pointing at Kevin McCarthy or Gosser or Gosser or any of them, be like, well, then I ain't.
I mean, Liz Cheney's like racism, I guess. I mean, the GOP just doesn't think she exists. I mean, you can't, I guess you can't teach her in schools either. Of course, that would be a terrible class.
That'd be the worst one, yeah.
Of the Liz Cheney class. I got Liz Cheney. What'd you get at 9? You got something at 9 o'clock? I signed up for Liz Cheney too.
Yeah.
I signed up for Honors Liz Cheney. She's doing a good job. She's trying her best.
She is trying her best. I give credit. That's good for her. Do it. You ain't gonna have a job here in another year, but still.
No, and then you'll be like stricken from the record.
Yeah.
You'll be like that in that book that thug goon of Trump's, the young kid in the what's the name of the John Carl book?
I don't know. What it is, Trump something.
I should have told. I think it's called. I should have told everybody all this months ago.
What? Yeah.
By Jonathan Carl. Yeah. Betrayal author. Betrayal. The name of it's Betrayal. Like, this is okay. I'm gonna write down, go back to thing about John Carl, because I'll never remember to go back to I've already forgotten what it was I was gonna say, but it's fine because it brings me to this point. Look at all this terrible stuff. There's a book out called Betrayal, which is like the 10th book to come out since Trump left, not even a year ago. And nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a fucking shit. Yes, cranberry sauce is $9. Nobody can help that. Don't get mad. That doesn't mean we need to beat people with flagpoles. It doesn't mean we have to, it wasn't so bad. But Jesus, these gas prices. I mean, gas is high. Mama barely had enough money on her card to cover my last trip to the pumps.
Wow.
But I mean, nobody gives a shit. It's just nobody gives a fucking shit. What are we trying? Who are we talking to, Jackie?
Watch your mouth.
We're just recapping how nobody gives a shit. We did this all with the COVID. Like, well, they ain't gonna get no shots. They don't give a shit. Yes, granted, when Trump was in office, come out, even though we already knew it, they were keeping the CDC from telling us how bad things were. And now, they might get vaccinated if it means they don't get fired, but they're going to get in a tub of Borax. I don't know if I hear a lot of things. And now that we've gone over to the Democrat, liberal, lefty side, because the guy wanted to kill democracy. and, all the other terrible Republicans. You hear a lot of these things, you're like, is that real? Is that something that exists just to make you feel better about yourself at the expense of other people, like Twitter or using a cast iron skillet correctly? I mean, that's for everybody who ain't like a Meemaw. If you're a millennial or under, that's what you're using a skillet for. But let me say that I hear these things like the Borax. Like, was there one person who did that? Or is there, and then it's like on Joe Rogan. Like, well, I can't get it. We can't ask questions about Borax. People like, nobody wants to be told what to do. Comedians. I guess comedians like to be the people who, remember when we used to do comedy? I'm glad we stopped. Like, so we can't get in a tub of Borax? What? Look, I'm vaccinated. All I'm saying is we can't ask questions anymore from my tub of cleanser. I'm in a giant bucket of cleanser, and I'm just saying, are we sure that the vaccines aren't killing more people than they're helping? It's just a question. Borax. So I'm going to say, I see this stuff and I'm like all these letters on Twitter from managers to them. I need you to come in on Thanksgiving. Well, I asked off for it earlier I'll jam a turkey up your ass. I'm like, are we just writing these for Reddit? And we're all just so pissed off at our own managers. We're like, yeah, that's real. And this Borax thing, I was like, that cannot be real. And I'm still sort of in that zone, but it's probably just because I haven't watched enough Newsmax. But if you watch enough Newsmax, you're definitely going to want to get in a fucking tub of cleanser.
Now, you only have to do that if your place of business forced you to get vaccinated.
That's right. Yes.
The government forces you to. Mm-hmm. Well, I had to get it or else they're going to, I ain't got a job. But by God, when I get home, I'm going to soak in Borax. I can do that all night long.
I'm so clean and full of sores. You can be full of sores and also clean, just FYI.
I just want to make sure.
I try to make that case all the time.
I want to make sure our listeners understand. Do not get into a bag full of borax unless you've been vaccinated. If you still avoid being vaccinated, you ain't got to do it. You ain't got to get in. Huh?
I think you're overstepping your bounds. If I want to get into a tub full of borax, whether I've been vaccinated or not, don't tell me I can't. I'm just, why can't I?
All right, you can. I'm just saying it's not necessary.
It's my body. It's my chemically burned body.
You know what else ain't necessary? Acting like a damn 3-year-old child about getting a damn shot.
Look, folks, it's hard to find pleasure in this world. The stovetop stuffing is $23. And Bannon got arrested. And you're like, yes, take that fucker to jail.
No.
Listen, he should not get a tub of borax because it'll be like a serial killer disposing of a body.
Yeah.
Like, I think he has to. I don't know how I think he takes just a small stream of water in the shower, like loose, scooped in the palm of his hand and splished over his tender skin. Listen, I don't.
Just enough.
And you say, okay, well, Bannon arrested. Finally, I've sent so many tweets threatening to hang Merrick Garland, and finally they're listening to me. And they're picking Steve Bannon up and they're taking him to jail. And then you realize it's exactly what Steve fucking Bannon wants, is to be preening around. The only thing he'd rather do than be arrested is to give the Pope a sword. And like some sort of magical horse he's supposed to ride to Jerusalem.
Wow.
I've known since I was born that I was the person who was going to give the Pope his war horse. I don't know if that's how he talks. How does Steve Bannon talk again?
I don't know.
That's another thing. I'd almost forgot about him. He was just one of these Trump world people just kind of circling the drain of my mind. I mean, I know he'd love another crusade, and that's all I really, and the hair thing and the 8 shirts but I didn't think that I was really going to have to re-engage with Steve Bannon, and here we are.
Yep. He loving it. He's on every computer screen. He's on the TV news. No, he got more subscribers for whatever he does. How much do you think his Patreon does?
I don't. It's more than ours.
Oh, I know that. Hell yeah,
I mean, I'm only wearing one shirt.
Well, same here. His is about to get that many more Patreons now that he on TV, and he's threatening like he's basically saying, I don't know verbatim what he said, but I'm like, they picked the wrong person this time. They're going to learn a lesson or whatever. I mean, it's just threats like he was doing before the insurrection. Well, tomorrow's going to be a hell of a day. Y'all be watching this. Yeah, they inconvenienced me so much. I had to go down to the FBI office and walk in there and turn around and walk out and talk to all these video cameras. I tell you what, they're going to pay. We're going to make them pay.
Yeah, things are not good. I mean, they're not good. You don't want people accused of fostering violence getting to foster more violence on TV and making money at it. It's a money thing too. Is even worse because you don't know. It's the whole thing with Trump. Are they doing this for money and accidentally broke democracy, or were they wanting to break democracy and accidentally saw how much money they could make doing it? Either way, things are not great.
It ain't no good. All these people think, thank God Merrick Garland finally acted. Look, I don't know what you do. Should he just go scot-free for staging the stupidest coup known to the world? I don't know. Should he pay some price? Well, he ain't gonna, more than likely. So why just make it worse and better for them to get? I don't know what you do. But I see all the people on Twitter saying, well, you got Merrick Garland. Why ain't they subpoenaing Trump? Subpoena Trump. Merrick Garland, subpoena Trump. Don't ever subpoena him. That would make, if he got to be on camera getting questioned, you saw those last few debates. It's just, that's nothing would make him happier than having to show up there. He'd get to cuss out every Democrat as soon as he got done. Then Jim Jordan would get to cuss out the Democrats. It would be the worst thing that could possibly happen for anybody. Why, if you're a liberal, whatever you think you are, why the hell would anybody want that? Thank y'all for listening on here. Hope you're still with us now, and welcome back. We got a lot to tend to here. Did you know what next week is, Dunlap? I meant to ask you this earlier. Do you know what significant event took place next week?
Is it when I put some rolls on layaway?
Some what?
Some Thanksgiving. I took out a loan for half a pumpkin pie.
All right. No, that's not what it is. The next time we do one of these, there's a specific date, but it's going to be the 9th anniversary of us talking on here like this for 9 damn years. Do you know that?
I believe a specific date is November 21st.
21st.
Listen, do you know we said the title of the first episode is America's Out Behind the Barn Bleeding Out. And that was under Obama. Go ahead, Jackie.
I'll make a point not to listen to that. But it is going to be, we don't want to make a big to-do about it. It ain't that, they've been talking on the computer for doing this for 9 years. Who give a damn? I'm with you, I understand. But certain people, like the creators of the Red State Update podcast, which you are now listening to, it may mean a little something to them. So next week on here, you're going to have the creators, the makers of the Red State Update podcast. It'll be Travis Harmon, Jonathan Chocolate. They will be on here to answer any questions that you may have for them. Think about the questions if you've been listening for 9 years that have gone through your head if you ain't asked it yet. And once you got that question, I want you to send it to the Twitters, the Facebooks, Red State Updates versions of these, Twitters, Facebooks, or email Red State Update directly at Red State. It's Red State Update at gmails.com. Is that right?
Who?
What is it?
Jackie, yes, that is right. Send your questions. 9 years. Send them to Twitters. Send them to Fuckface.
Hey.
Meta. I want you to log into the Matrix, fly to the moon to play a card game with a fucking annoying robot.
All right.
Then do some computer art. I guess that's how NFTs are made.
Right.
And then come back and drop us a letter in the damn metaverse. 9 years.
I don't know how any of that means, but
you can email us at Gmail. We're trying to keep it, I guess, any way you can get a hold of us, but like we ain't gonna go around. We're gonna spend like hours gathering everything up. So like let's try to keep it in a few places. I like to put a lot of rules.
Well, they should
a lot of rules. And to me, an anniversary ain't an anniversary unless it's governed by a bunch of arbitrary rules.
You got to have some kind of structure, or else it's just anarchy. It don't make any sense. You got, if you want to get the thing accomplished, you got to, focus on. Again, these questions will be for the creators of the Red State Update podcast, Travis Harmon and Jonathan Shockley. If you got a question for us, hopefully Jackie and Dunlap, we might be able to answer it sometime down the road or something, I guess. We've done that before, ain't we?
How? So that is not the anniversary Red State Update. That's our sponsors section on this episode.
No, we got, sort of got a sponsor. I wouldn't look.
Oh, Patreon. Should we tell? I guess you can send us messages on Patreon. We've been forgetting to talk about Patreon on here. Thanks to everybody who goes to Patreon and gives us money. We really do appreciate it.
Yes.
We put up the Patreon episode this week. Last night, it was about cheating songs, country songs, specifically a song called Yes, Mr. Peters.
Yeah, that's it. I'm very familiar now with that song. I wasn't beforehand, but now for 20 minutes of that, I'll never forget it. Never forget it.
And if you want to be familiar with Yes, Mr. Peters, you can do so.
Which version would you want to be familiar with?
I don't know. There's a bunch.
There's so many, which you will hear about on 20 Extra Minutes with Jackie and Dunlap. If you go to our Patreon page and $5 a month or more, not only do you get this long-winded, hour-long thing, you get a tight, sharp, quick,
keep talking,
20 minutes over on our Patreon page. So, and we appreciate all y'all that join us over there, and we can't thank you enough for all that you do. But if you want to hear about what is it? Just Mr. Peters or hello, Mr. Peters? I'm sorry, Mr.
It's yes, Mr. Peters.
Yes, that's right. That's positive. Yes, Mr. Peters. Yeah, you're gonna learn a lot about that song if you ain't already. And I think we're pretty good teachers. I guess was that what you call us to walk people down that road to meet that song, Yes, Mr. Peters, I think we're fairly decent guides.
And Hurry, Mr. Peters, and it's a different song.
That's a different song associated with that one, a sequel, so to speak. They used to have sequel songs.
Uh-huh.
I guess they still do somewhere. I don't know. But this one, that was a sequel.
Well, this would be more with songs. You can make a sequel that's an answer to that song, like Hurry, Mr. Peters, isn't by the same people.
No.
But it's about the same people. It'd be like if you put out The Hobbit and then somebody made a answer movie about The Hobbit with the same characters and that dragon or whatever, but like showing the other side of it.
It's a spinoff? Is it spinoff? Is that
well, that's like Mork and Mindy.
All right. Well,
Johnny Loves Chachi.
No.
There was the one about an angel, I think.
I don't like any of that.
There was it's not a spinoff. It's called an answer song. I guess there aren't answer movies where you just take the same people in a movie because they would sue you. But in songs, I guess it's okay.
Yeah. As long as it don't sound exactly the same, I think. Yeah. You can say whatever, yeah.
Well, I should have told that to Hurry, Mr. Peters.
Well.
Peters.
Too late now, I reckon.
Yeah,
thank you.
100 years ago.
100 years ago. Yeah, Mr. Peters. Hello, yes, Mr. Peters, and Hurry, Mr. Peters. I like your original best. I like yes, Mr. Peters. Anyhow, if you want to hear us talk more about that, which I'm sure everyone does.
Hey, we really. I'm sure after this, I don't know why
everybody got their credit cards out, running over to Patreon after that little skirmish. But yeah, you'll hear much more about it over there. And again, we can't thank y'all enough. And we hope to have all of our Padrons join us listen on our 9th anniversary next week. So we'll talk to you then. I got to get to some a bit of unfortunate business, but it is necessary. My sponsor was of course going to be 4-H, 4 turkeys, 4 fashion show. And I know a lot of people speculated and made assumptions and said this, this ain't going to turn out good.
I don't even understand why they would have said that. What would have made them think that? All that we were talking about was, your sponsor was the 4-H annual 4 turkeys for fashion show.
Yeah,
right?
they special breed of turkeys, not for eating.
Not for eating.
No, just for modeling, really.
For strutting up and down that runway in them pretty clothes.
And they do it well. And the youngins at the 4-H that train them. And it is something to see. It's a fun event that I've attended in the past many times. Nothing like a turkey wearing a fine sports coat or something, fashion. I don't understand fashion. I don't get it, but I like what I like when I see it.
Exquisite gown.
Yeah, I like what I like when I see it, and it's usually if it's a bird in an outfit, you already got me. It don't matter what the outfit is, right?
And this makes it sound. I don't even know if we got this across last week. This makes it sound as if they're just stuffing dumb birds in some ridiculous costume.
No,
instead of these turkeys are bred to wear clothes and to present these clothes to you and to be an event like that you see and that you experience visually multiple senses. When you go to a 4-H 4 turkeys 4 fashion show, it's like that in The Devil Wears Prada when they're explaining fashion to you. A dumb guy who's just watching that movie with some girl he picked up at Dalt's. And you're like, Stanley Tucci's right. I get it now. Fashion. Yes. And that's what these turkeys been doing long before. Probably about, I don't know how old Stanley Tucci is, but I doubt he's older than the 4-H 4 turkeys 4 fashion show.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Now, this ain't, I know people in the head, everybody loves like a parrot with a bow tie on. Everybody like that. Yeah, sure. Yeah. But this is, you really invested more. It's how the fabric hangs off of the frame. A delicate balance. there's so much to it. I can't begin to get into it. And it's just, these are professional modeling turkeys. These turkeys have been for years. It's been in their bloodline. It's something. This is what these birds were born to do. Put on this planet for, was to wear stylish ensembles and work our way up that runway and back. And I tell you what, it's something else to see. It really is.
So everything worked out great, right?
No. Well, you know it didn't. Well, you made everything work out great. What do you say? Yeah. Again, I can kind of see, that's happening at the same time as that. I don't know how that's going to turn. I mean, I understand it's a timing issue, right? That'd be it more than anything else, right? It's just if this had happened at this time of day and that happened at that time other day, because your sponsor was for hunters for Hunters Club.
Yeah, the 4 Hunters Club, 4 extra turkeys, 4 hungries. Just a brief recap.
Sure.
I'm not trying to give. You're not trying to give anybody I guess people were right, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to give anybody a guilt trip for saying, things are going to be bad or be weird, or that doesn't sound like a good idea to have those hunters, the land they lease for hunting right next to those damn 4-H turkeys. But it's true that the 4 Hunters Club who enjoy hunting, they're 4 friends who just like to get together, Seeky Pepper, Clark Tenner, get together, hunt, talk about hunting. And they like to get 4 extra turkeys, 4 hungries, 4 hungry people, 4 extra turkeys. If you say it's for hungry people, the game warden will let you get 4 extra turkeys. And I mean, let's be honest. No, these days, pandemic, uprising, people ain't really checking turkey limits.
Not counting, yeah. They just ain't counting turkeys, yeah.
But if you say it's for charity, especially, they ain't checking. So 4 extra turkeys, 4 hungry people, and they enjoy judging who's the hungriest, who should get this turkey, who should get that one. Yes, the land they hunt and shoot and kill and murder turkeys on was right next to the 4-H, 4 turkey, for fashion show, Turkey Village. Yes, of course. I mean, things are next to each other in this world. That's how geometry works, I think. But that doesn't mean if you have a yogurt wall restaurant where you get yogurt, frozen yogurt out of a wall, next to a fried chicken restaurant where you get fried chicken out of a bucket, doesn't mean you're going to pull that knob on a wall and fried chicken's going to come out, which would be amazing. Fuck, I guess I need to lease a restaurant space.
Watch that mouth.
Somebody's just pouring a bucket of chicken through a slot and you hold your cup out. You're like, fuck, I got a wing.
Hey.
But it doesn't happen accidentally because things are next to each other. So I didn't think that anything possible bad could happen. It's just, it's time to give turkeys to hungry people. It's time to put turkeys in
timing again. Timing and location. That's it. No parallel, nothing. I mean, again, I thought the easiest thing for everybody involved in this, I guess I'm probably putting a little more pressure on the hunters in this situation, and I shouldn't, but how I would have handled it maybe was like, when you're hunting for turkey, be sure not to shoot any with clothes on. I thought that might prevent certain things happening, certain things don't. But you don't take into account, turkey. If you're a model in turkey, you can't wear those clothes all day. You'll look great if you do. But I mean, everybody when I come home, I kick my shoes off or take my overall off. Sometimes if it's hot, they get down in my drawers, turn the air conditioner on. If you can't 24/7 be modeling. And if you just happen to wear clothes, try to wear a color scheme or something that, is, I would say, not fall colors. But again, that's a lot of pressure to put on the hunters. They're just trying to do a good job, bring some more turkeys for charity and on and on. And if you're sitting there thinking that these hunters shot these fashion runway model turkeys, then you're half right. Half. Indeed, they did find 4 turkeys on the land, right there on the line, pretty much, right there on the property line. And bless your hearts, they were shot, without a doubt. They did have clothes on, but the first turkey, he had brown sports suit, brown slacks. One turkey had beige corduroys on, an off white, but more really, I thought beige as well. To me, it looked like a beige shirt.
Cream.
Yeah. And then, of course, I don't know all the different kinds of dresses or whatever kind it was. It was a backless, whatever, on and on. Again, forgive me for not knowing fashion, but I do know colors and that dress or whatever, brown as well on that one. And the last one I think, was just it wasn't wearing modeling clothes. It was just relaxing in like a, little jumpsuit, something like that. Also, it's more of a dark brown color than the other one. But yes, these turkeys were shot, found lying dead on the property line. And of course, a lot of hearts were broken. Bless the heart, those 4-H. Because these children.
Oh, they found them too. Can you imagine?
They know these turkeys from birth. They help these turkeys put the clothes on. You get to be intimate with an animal or a person or anybody if you constantly putting their clothes on and taking it off and putting different clothes. I mean, there's no more way you can get closer.
Yeah, I think everything you just said sounds weird, but you're right. The point stands.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's a relationship there that.
Right. Again, it sounds a little.
Boundaries are.
We're not accusing them of crossing any boundaries.
No, that's what they're supposed to do is put the clothes. The turkey goes out on there, you come back, you take your clothes off, put the other thing on him, The
turkeys are vulnerable. I was a turkey dresser. I told everybody last week I was a turkey dresser. They let me do it, and it's high pressure.
It is.
It's high pressure. That's why people's personalities they snap. They don't. When you're in a high pressure situation like a turkey fashion show, you don't care who you insult or whose feelings get hurt. You're there to look good, and when you're backstage. And those 4-H kids they've chosen your looks. They've dressed you. There's just a bond between those people that you just can't get any other way than a turkey fashion show. I mean, the bonds between the 4-H kids and the fashion turkeys are unlike any bonds between any other turkeys and people in this world that I know of. Yeah. That I know of.
Yeah.
And when they stumbled across those 4 turkeys on the turkey line, I mean, just imagine everything that was going through their little 4-H heads, their little corduroy brains and hearts. The thing is, Jackie, and you know this, we've all heard the story by now. Those weren't the fashion turkeys that they found in the turkey zone between the 400s Club and 4-H, 4 Turkeys, 4 Fashion Village, Turkey Village.
And thank God for that, but it doesn't make the first discoveries of those turkeys any less traumatizing. I won't make that clear.
Not at all. Not at all.
You can't laugh that off to those youngins. You can't just they got no, that's still this. They didn't know. Nobody knew it at this time when the turkeys were found. Yeah.
It's no less traumatizing when they arrested the 400s Club for shooting. Now, the game wardens will let you get away with a lot in Rutherford County.
Sure.
But you can't shoot a fashion turkey.
No, there's a specific, and again, at one time, but this was in the 1930s, I think, is when it became law. But, if I remember correctly, in the 30s, you could no longer, because before that, one would get shot every now and then. It would still be a big to do, which eventually why they had to step in and pass some laws on it. And yeah, you can't kill a fashion turkey in this state. No, sir.
Luckily, they didn't kill fashion turkeys. They didn't kill any turkeys. Well, they killed some turkeys. They did not kill those 4 well-dressed turkeys laid out in the turkey zone. Those turkeys were drugged and murdered by the fashion turkeys. They were dressed in fashion clothes in the colors of the season, to make those turkeys harder to make out in the woods. Although it turns out that the fashion turkeys murdered them in cold blood themselves to frame the hunters. The 4 Hunters Club didn't kill those turkeys. They killed other turkeys that were the same as those turkeys, except they had not been dressed in clothes to frame the 4 Hunters Club. Just regular ass turkey. So the 4-H kids knew pretty quick that something was up, but it was just also disorienting. Like, what? And it turns out them fashion turkeys is pretty fucking smart and diabolical and cold fucking blooded.
Hey, watch your mouth though. Yeah.
They've been stealing money out of the 4-H kids' pockets for years. They bought bus tickets. We think they're going to New York City. The cops are on the case. I mean, there's still turkeys in clothes, so they shouldn't be that hard to spot. They saw them in New Jersey somewhere, or in the southern part where they elected that bus driver, and they were wearing like normcore. So they thought they were being sneaky, but people were like, those are turkeys, right? And then I guess there was a chase. They stole a car. There was a freeway shootout. They got away. One turkey may have been injured by either shot, or maybe there was glass. There was turkey blood.
That's their own fault, though, at this point. I'm not going to blame them.
I ain't feeling sorry for it. I mean, look, I get it. They want to go to New York City and they want to live the fashion life.
But these aren't the kind of ambassadors I want going to other states to represent Rutherford County, Tennessee, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. These smart, impressive turkeys, yes, but the attitudes concerning all this, I mean, the murder is what they are.
It's weird when animals do it, when animals commit premeditated murder, because you're on the one hand, you're like, geez, no, that's awful. Put them in jail. But on the other hand, you're like, well, that's pretty good for a turkey.
Yeah.
You kind of want to watch a TV show about it, but on the other hand, you don't want them profiting from it. I mean, yes, I want them to make it to New York City and have a career, but those other turkeys didn't need to die. And also, they didn't really need to drag the 400s Club into it. They found some paraphernalia on Siki when he got arrested. So, I mean, he's in, that was unnecessary. I don't think they thought about anybody else, but I guess
that's the one that sticks in my claw. The other turkeys, sure, they killed them, but we kill turkeys every year. I just want to eat Thanksgiving.
It's a little hypocritical for us to be.
Exactly. So it's not them; it's just the hunters who were completely innocent of killing these turkeys. They killed plenty of other turkeys, but these in particular. And to put them in those brown clothes, what they did, that's where you stepping over the line for me. I'm sorry. I'm impressed with your modeling and your intelligence. And yes, without a doubt. I am, you have cause to think highly of yourselves, but to put those 4 innocent men in this situation, that's going too far.
And also, though, is that dressing them in the colors of the season, so people be like, "Oh, the hunters must have got confused."
Yeah,
that's also that's real smart too. So again, it's the thing where you're impressed, but you don't want to.
Absolutely, but not at the expense of these 4 gentlemen's lives. No.
like when I went to see Silence of the Lambs, people were like, what was it about? It's like, it's about a real cool serial killer who eats people. People were like, what? They're like, my preacher was right about the world.